Hell hath no fury like me scorned. This story starts 31 years ago, but revenge began recently.
The revenge part was pure serendipity that started 2 years ago. It has been a crazy ride.
I am going to shorten some parts because it is wild, but I will answer your questions.
I learned a ton on this journey. Part of this write-up is to share that with others.
In 1990, I was out of middle school. My sister was still in elementary school then. My dad met his third wife at the only gas station in our small, quiet country town.
They moved in together, and my dad abandoned us in our basement apartment to live with her.
He lived on a shanty houseboat that did not run. He left us behind for that woman. He would show up every other week and give me $40 for the 2-week grocery bill.
Eventually, someone figured out the situation and called my mom. We went to go live with her. Believe it or not, living with her was worse. My dad and his wife married in 1991. Not long after, she called me and told me my dad's brain tumor had suddenly returned again.
It had not returned. She claimed he could not handle the stress of being around us anymore.
I called my dad to ask if this was true. He said it was not at all.
He could not believe she would say that. That was our last conversation until 2 years ago.
I worked my way through college, living in my car from time to time. No contact existed.
I heard from family that he bought a house and put his son through some vocational classes.
They took anything that was not tied down. Eventually, I went no contact with that entire side.
I struggled for years, decades really, but I made it. I have a great job and family.
The best revenge is living well, right? 2 years ago, October 2019, I got a phone call. My dad's brother, Alan, told me my dad was in a nursing home in another state.
Alan said I needed to see him because he needed my help. I thought, what the hell?
Shorty had ghosted him. The nursing home was coincidentally only 20 minutes away from my house then.
I saw an opportunity and I went. The reunion was underwhelming, to say the very least today.
I did not want to make amends, but I wanted to hear how he wound up alone.
It was a really good story. Shanti wife got lung cancer and put him in the home.
She died in 2017. She suffered, and I was happy to hear it, but sad for her.
Shorty became his power of attorney when she died. He lived in my dad's house with kids.
He took care of affairs since his mom died, but now he was missing in action suddenly.
My dad asked me to drive 90 minutes to his house to check on things for him.
He never even asked how I had been. I agreed to go out of a morbid curiosity.
I wanted to see where he lived with his real family for 30 years. It was awful.
The grass had not been cut all summer. You could not reach the door for the overgrowth.
There were 3 trucks in the yard. 2 were full of trash in the cabs and beds.
Mail, clothes, paper, shoes, and garbage bags filled the seats. I could not understand this at all.
My dad's modified SUV was on 4 flats and full of garbage, too. I had no key.
I just walked around. From what I could see, the inside was in shambles and hoarded bad.
On the doors were dozens of notices from the city that they were going to condemn it.
The carport was also hoarded. Boxes were stacked on each other, most rotting from the rainwater.
The yard was full of garbage, broken ornaments, rusted tools, and old toys. It was a mess. That night, I Googled powers of attorney and how to use them. I went back the next day.
I showed my bedbound dad the pictures. He vowed to beat Shorty's ass and asked for help.
I told him I would help, but he had to sign power of attorney over to me.
All of it, durable, financial, and medical. If he did not, he could figure it out alone.
He agreed. So, I set about finding a lawyer who would drive to another state for paperwork.
Bless that lawyer, because all I did was tell him what I knew. He was very professional. He put together a beautifully bulletproof POA. It was full of stuff I did not even know. He also filed the paperwork to revoke Shorty's POA. And now I am completely unstoppable in this.
We are from a small rural town. It is the kind of creepy, landlocked place you know.
No matter how long you have been gone, you will always see someone you know back there. It is like playing 7 degrees of everybody all the time. It is suffocating, but also helpful.
I got to work the next morning. I did not know how scorched the earth would be.
I did not want Shorty finding me, so I made sure nothing had my real name on.
I opened a Google account and got a Google number. I opened a P.O. box too.
I put in a mail forwarding notice and pulled his credit report. I took the new POA.
I went to his small town bank, changed his account address, and got new account numbers today.
I requested copies of every transaction back to the day Shanti's wife died. 13 months of records.
I had to go to the main branch 2 hours away to pick up those bank records.
I sat in the lobby all afternoon. I got a crash course in his debits and deposits.
This is when I figured out the extent of Shorty's staggering stupidity. My dad got $5 grand.
Twice a week, Shorty was withdrawing cash for 13 months straight, every time he signed a form.
That form was notarized by the bank. I got the bank to confirm each withdrawal by Shorty. Then I went to the house and called a locksmith. I had no idea what waited inside.
He got the first door open and the stench rolled out like a thick fog bank today.
We both gagged. 2 locks later, I was so embarrassed I gave the locksmith a big tip. With shiny new keys in hand, I called the cops. I told them I was the POA.
I was checking on his house, and there were 3 vehicles that did not belong to him.
He asked if I knew who they belonged to. I said no, and I wanted them gone.
He told me to call a tow company. They showed up with 2 wreckers to help out.
The tow guy asked for a signature. I only signed my first name. He asked about Shorty.
He said he knew Shorty and that he was an asshole. I responded that he might be.
I told him to tell Shorty that I am coming for him. His bravado evaporated right then.
He knows a crazy person when he sees one. They towed the trucks, and everyone left then.
I opened the door in the carport to peek in. It was dark in the house now.
I heard something faint. I realized it was the roaches and rats doing their own nasty stuff.
I could smell it in my hair. I sat on the steps and watched the sun down.
I was mad, just so livid that 72 hours dissolved 3 decades of my life right now.
Here I was stinking and listening to rats and cleaning everyone else's shit up for them now.
The thought of Shorty's life being upended made me absolutely giddy. I wanted them both to lose.
I decided I was going to triple dog down. I Googled restraining orders that very same night.
It was surprisingly easy to get one. I went to the courthouse in my old hometown today.
I filled the form in at a rickety little table. I was not prepared to see him.
The clerk said she would see if the judge was still there. That kind of scared me.
She took me to his chambers. I saw certificates from veteran groups hanging on his wall there. I wiped my palms and thought, fish in a barrel. He asked about my dad's service history. He read my form and granted the temporary order. I would have to go back again later.
I went home and Googled biohazard companies and elder abuse statutes in my home state right now.
I hired a company to shovel all the shit out for $7 grand. I would pay double.
They found my dad's mummified dog under pizza boxes. They sent me pictures and salvaged some papers.
Shorty was served and a hearing was set. I got to work collecting and documenting everything.
I made pictures and spreadsheets with cross-references. Now they had my full and undivided attention today.
The paid versions of Truthbinder and Trello seriously got me through all of this mess lately now.
In my spare time, I gave my dad 8x10 copies of the pictures of his dead dog.
Before court, I went to the police station nearby to report an elder abuse crime finally today.
A detective told me it was a domestic matter. He said Shorty's actions were all legal then. This was the day I taught a small-town detective about the responsibilities of a POA today.
I handed him a copy of the statute and a folder with bank statements and pictures, too.
I showed him the credit report and the total stolen amounts. The total was over 130 grand.
I told him he could keep that folder. I would wait for a case number and sat.
He came back 30 minutes later and apologized. He gave me a case number for the crime.
Then I headed over to the courthouse. This is the end. People were waiting their turn there.
His shoes were untied and that turned my giggle box over. Then it was our turn now.
We stood up. The same judge asked us questions and asked me if I had proof today. The judge asked if I went to police then.
Yes, sir, I have. The order was granted permanently and for life. Shorty needed a lawyer.
I got a copy of my dad's discharge papers while I was there. Why not have them? I also used my POA to take Shanty Wife off the deed to the house forever today.
That way, Shorty had no immediate claim. I also got birth and death certificates for them both.
The clerk recognized my dad's name and told me she knew my Uncle Alan back then.
So I got all the forms I wanted. Shanty Wife left 50 grand in life insurance today.
About 35 grand was left. I opened an Ally account and transferred every single penny over. Then I set up recurring transfers. At any given time, there was no more than $100.
I found a house flipper who paid enough to pay off the mortgage on the house.
There is nothing to fight over in probate if there is nothing there at all today.
I made sure there was nothing there. My dad died thinking he still owned a house then.
This is when I found the life insurance policies. They were up to date for my dad. Shanty wife was the beneficiary. Since she was dead, I assigned my sister and me instead. It was irrevocable too. The only way to change that was for all of us to agree.
I kept my dad in the dark about all this. He only knew about the dog.
He purchased a gravesite next to Shanty Wife. That was never going to happen at all.
Googled national cemeteries. He qualified to be in one as a disabled Vietnam veteran today.
My dad died in June this year. He is buried in a national cemetery far away now.
No one will ever go visit him there. The only obituary ran on a website for insurance.
I wrote it as vague as possible. There was no service. His urn is purple, his hate.
I got a call in August from the prosecutor's office. The lady is my first cousin.
Shorty was arrested in July and is still in jail. He faces felony elder abuse charges now.
He is facing 10 years in prison. She said not to expect the trial anytime soon today.
I told her that was awesome.
The uncertainty will hopefully haunt him for a very long time.
After all that, he still has prison to look forward to. He lost his children and dad.
I am spending his mom's cancer money. He lost his free house and his pickup trucks, too.
He has no credit and will never get a decent job. He has no place to live. And I sleep like a baby every night now. This is the end of the story today. Revenge is a dish best served cold, calculated, and with legal documents to back it all up.
In a town where everyone knows everyone, your reputation is the only thing that really matters here.
That child in the basement finally found justice in the most unexpected way possible through this journey.
I took the trash out and I made sure it stayed out for the rest of time.
Some people never learn until it is too late. Shorty is one of those people right now.
The money is gone, and the life he built on lies is completely destroyed forever and ever.
I learned that being tenacious is a bone I could never put down. I am proud of it. This is the story of how I took back my life and finished the business for good.
I am finally free of the past. I sleep very well. Thank you for listening to me.